Hey there! So today we are going to solve another LeetCode problem named Zigzag conversion. Medium level, and it goes like this. The string is written in a zigzag pattern on a given number of rows like this. So there is some visual example. As you see, the string is put there from the top left corner. First it is written in the direction from the top to the bottom. Then it goes to the right top direction, then again to the bottom, to the right top, to the bottom, to the right top, to the bottom. And then the string is read line by line. So in this case, it's going to be PAHNAPLSIIGYIR. And we must write the code that will take a string and make this exact conversion given a number of rows. There are some examples here. The first one is exactly the one from the description. Another one is when we have exactly the same string, but the number of rows is 4. And the last one is when the string contains only one character and number of rows is 1. And there are some constraints here about the length of the string, about the options for the number of rows, and also we are given information that string consists only of English letters, comma and dot symbols. So now let's start to work on the issue by removing the obvious edge case. So when the number of rows is equal to 1, then we are going to return the string itself. Otherwise, we are going to have some kind of result variable, the string, which is going to be empty at the beginning. We are going to fill it and then return at the end. So how we are going to put characters in this string. So let's focus a little bit on the pattern itself. So if we add some random row of this pattern, how are we going to put the characters from the string to our result? So obviously we have some initial index, and we're going to put the character using this index, and then we need to skip some amount of characters which belongs to the bottom part of our zigzag pattern. And then we could proceed with putting the next symbol. Then we should skip another amount of characters from the top part of our zigzag pattern and put the next symbol. And then the cycle repeats. So we are putting characters, skipping the bottom part of the zigzag, putting the character, skipping the top part of the zigzag, and so on and so forth. So let's iterate through the strings to make all of this possible. So we're going to create the for loop for that. And let's create some variable like skip bottom, a boolean one, which is going to indicate what exact part of the zigzag we need to skip at the moment. So it is true by default, but if you would take a look at the last row in our pattern, you would see that for the last one we are actually we never need to skip the bottom part, and we should go straight forward to the top part of the zigzag to be skipped. So it's not going to be just true, it's going to be true only when the index is not equal to some last row index. So let's create this constant, some constant somewhere here, num rows -1. Right, and now we need to pick the initial index, the char index at each line. And again, if you would take a look on the pattern, we would see that For the first line, we are picking the first character. For the second line, we're picking the second character, and so on and so forth. So the character index initially is going to be equal to the row index itself. Okay, and we are going to iterate through the characters in our string while our character index belongs to the range of character indexes. So we are going to just check that it is still less than a number of characters in the string. If so, then we are able to append the character to our result. So to do this, let's not use the API of the string. It's really complicated. So we instead are going to create the array of characters. I will put it explicitly here. And we are going to work with these characters array instead of string. So we are adding the character from this array to our result using the char index. Okay, so now to the skipping part. Depending on the state of the skip bottom variable, we are going either skip top or the bottom part of the index or of the zigzag. So what is the distance between the next index and the current index if we are skipping the bottom part of the zigzag? So we need to go from the character down to the last row and then go back to our row. So obviously it is the distance between the last row index and row index multiplied by 2, because well, we're going this distance twice, right? If we are skipping the top part of our zigzag, then we are going from our row to the row number 0 and then go back to our row. So it's going to be equal to the row index multiplied by 2, as we are going this distance twice. Finally, we are able to switch the state of this skip bottom variable to prepare for the next iteration, right? But take a look on the first and the last line. So as you see, if we are working with the first line, we don't need to switch the part of the zigzag which we are skipping. We are also always going to skip on the bottom part. And the same could be said about the last row. For the last row, we always going to skip only the top part of the zigzag. So let's guard this switch. So the row index should not be equal to 0, and the row index should not be equal to the last index. Else we are going to just continue our loop. All right, so this should work. Let's check for any compilation issues. Last row index, of course. Okay, let's submit our solution. All right, So as you see, well, it is good, it works, it takes some milliseconds to complete all the test cases, but the competition is really crazy on this task. So how we could do better? We are not able to change the operation complexity of the solution, but we could make it easier to proceed through each iteration. So first of all, let's replace the result string with the result character variable. So the result array of characters, of course. So now we are going to, well, append a character at each iteration to this array instead of appending it to the string. And finally, we would be able to convert our result to a string at the end. What else? Well, as the description says, the string consists of English letters, comma and dot. Basically, we don't need the character, as we are actually able to work with the UTF-8 view, and in this case we are going to work with the unsigned integer of 8-bit size, which is going to improve the code execution time significantly. All right, so now instead of characters, we have unsigned integers of 8 bits, which means that we need to have some different constructor to create our result. And we are going to use the unsafe, uninitialized capacity. So how many symbols are going to be there? It's the same as the size of the result array. And here we are going to initialize our string using our result and signal back that the result count characters were initialized. Let's check if it is bug free. Oh yeah, of course. Great. And finally, let's submit the solution. Nice. So as you see, this solution takes less than 1 millisecond to go through all of the test cases, and that's why it beats, technically beats, almost any other submission. And that's it for today. If you'd like to see me solving other LeetCode problems, then put your request to the comment section. See you next time. Cheers!